Exploring the depths of the Vietnam War. The Vietnam War, a war that shook the world, a conflict that left its mark on history. The United States, a global superpower, locked in an epic battle against the small yet resilient country of Vietnam. The war began in 1955. A time of Cold War tensions, the U.S. was drawn into the conflict, fearing the spread of communism. Vietnam, a nation divided, pitted North against South in a struggle for political supremacy. The U.S. entered the war supporting the South Vietnamese government. It was a decision bolstered by the domino theory, which predicted a communist takeover of Southeast Asia if Vietnam fell. American forces arrived in Vietnam, confident of a swift victory. They brought with them superior firepower and advanced technology. However, they found themselves unprepared for the guerrilla warfare tactics used by the Northern Vietnamese forces. The North Vietnamese Army and the Viet Cong rebels were ruthless adversaries. Trained in unconventional warfare, they utilized their surroundings, attacking from the jungle undergrowth and disappearing into a network of tunnels. In the U.S., public opinion was divided. The media played a crucial role, broadcasting the harsh realities of the war into American households. The resulting anti-war sentiment sparked nationwide protests, leading to a deep-seated cultural divide. Meanwhile, in Vietnam, the war brought untold suffering. Entire villages were destroyed, families torn apart, and millions of lives lost. The impact would be felt for generations to come. The My Lai massacre in 1968 was a turning point. The horrific event, where hundreds of innocent Vietnamese civilians were killed by American troops, turned the tide of public opinion against the war. Despite the mounting cost, both in human lives and resources, the war dragged on. The U.S. government found itself in a quagmire, unable to secure a decisive victory or withdraw without loss of face. The Paris Peace Accords, signed in 1973, signaled the end of U.S. involvement. American troops pulled out, leaving the South Vietnamese to fend for themselves against the advancing Northern forces. The war officially ended in 1975, with the fall of Saigon to the North Vietnamese. A war that began as a mission to prevent the spread of communism ended with communist forces taking control of Vietnam. The aftermath of the war was devastating. Vietnam was left in ruins, its economy destroyed, and its people traumatized. Meanwhile, the U.S. was left to grapple with a legacy of bitterness and mistrust. The Vietnam War was more than just a military conflict. It was a human tragedy, a political nightmare, and a socio-cultural earthquake. It changed the way wars were fought and how they were perceived by the public. The lessons of the Vietnam War continue to resonate today. It serves as a stark reminder of the cost of military intervention, the dangers of underestimating an opponent, and the power of public opinion. As we reflect on this tumultuous chapter of history, we can't help but acknowledge the courage of those who fought, the resilience of those who survived, and the memory of those who perished. The U.S. versus Vietnam War, a conflict that shook two nations to their core, and its ripple effects continue to shape our world today. A painful history, but a history we must remember, to avoid repeating the same mistakes. Till next time, keep exploring, keep learning, because history isn't just about the past, it's about understanding the present and shaping a better future.